interesting to me was the kind of questions and the kind of observations that the Korean audience made.
So for you, you were this urban girl who's an artist. For you, what kind of prep were you required to do, and how did you have to approach the role?
So like you said, she is an urban girl and she's an artist, which is exactly who I am as well.
Yeah.
But there were... So we did this during Goddesses as well, and it's a really helpful exercise, which is to make a list of characteristics of you and then make a list of characteristics of your character. And whatever is similar is similar, but as far as possible, you try and make sure that your character has different characteristics, right? And they need not necessarily be things that you see on camera. You know, you may not even have a scene where you need to be, say, angry or whatever, but just to sort of take yourself through the thought process of thinking, how would Ameera react if she was angry? And how would Sarah react if she was angry? And in that difference, you then sort of keep yourself within the guidelines of your character. We did this for Frida as well. In terms of actual preparation, I am a musician as well, which is part of the reason why Moses cast me in the film, because he apparently said to Mukesh that he wanted a singer. So that helped, because especially for the performances and things, you know, what one does when they're singing or how you use your body, and there's a certain fluidity to musicians, and especially the kind of musician that Moses wanted. He wanted a very free-flowing spirit, kind of like the Sunshine Girl. I had wanted to do a course for a while, and I said, now's the best time ever. So I went to the True School of Music, and I did a pro vocal course. And that's who I brought out of me into Ameera. And yes, apart from that, we had workshops. But Moses was also very clear that he didn't want Dilsher and Ameera at any point in time to be too familiar with each other. Ameera comes from a very wealthy, affluent side of Delhi. Yeah. Completely the contrary to where he comes from. So he wanted that. And it's really interesting that he made that observation of his two characters in the film and made sure it happened in real life as well. And so you see that slight awkwardness, mostly from him, because she's a free spirit, and you know, for her it's not such a big deal to make a friend at the drop of a hat. But with him, you see it. You see that slight sort of awkwardness.
So before the Indian release or the trailer launches or any buzz in the country about the film, you opened the bloody Busan Film Festival. How did that happen, and how amazing was it?
It was something special. I mean, it was the best premiere that we could have imagined for Zubaan, because over there when we went and we saw this, I mean, the biggest screen that I've ever seen in my life.
5,000
people. There were 5,000 people, more than 5,000 people. Yeah. It was like an amphitheater, a massive amphitheater.
You both got 5,000 people. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wow,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
So how is it? Like you've traveled with the film. I want to ask Sarah. Like you hadn't traveled with AIG, right?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not at the time. I traveled for AIG after I came back from. No, wait. Was it before?
It was.
It was before.
London, right? London, Toronto.
Toronto was after.
After?
Toronto was before. But I did go to Cannes. With him. We all went together. We actually did a photo shoot for Zubaan when I was there. I wanted to go. Moses said, do you want to come? And I said, you know what, I don't mind coming. And it's same production, you know, support, etc. You know. Yeah, and I remember his face. It was priceless. It was just priceless. It was like this. It was deep humility with deep disbelief.
Yeah.
It was like a mix of both. He was like, you could see, he's like, I'm so humbled to be here, but I cannot believe this is happening.
Was it the same with you?
It was, for me, not at Cannes because it was not my film, but yes, the deep disbelief at the fact that I was there, and I was just so happy to be with them.
I meant Busan.
But at Busan, yeah, I was just, what was most interesting to me was the kind of questions and the kind of observations that the Korean audience made and the reporters. They noticed everything. They were like, what's the symbolism of the star? Does it have anything to do with your brother? And these are things that nobody over here has noticed yet, right? Not yet, because the film's not out. Yeah. In Music Is My Art, you know, we got the triome, basically, the three And Moses came and said, I want that because I wanted to represent the trio woman, various things. And they noticed it and they were like, and this is a completely different culture. They're not familiar with it at all. Perhaps somewhere deeply spiritual people, but you don't expect these kind of questions from, like, let's say, Aam Janta reporters.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really interesting, and even the fact that they said that we're happy to see that this is what modern day films in India look like. They loved the music, and just generally they're very warm people. They're such warm people. So it was very overwhelming, and I think that it didn't really sink in until I had perhaps even come back from there. What had happened, it was just like, wow.
More than the excitement of premiering it at Busan, it was reaction ke samajh liya, we were nervous about that, but we got a very, very good response and we were really happy about it.
I hadn't seen the film.
Oh, till then you hadn't.
Okay,
Wow.
Moses hadn't, I was just like, and I kept telling him, I was like, dude, you can't make me watch it in front of 5,000 people for the first time. I'm going to be a mess. No, you have to. So he's so sweet. He came and sat right next to me, and the minute I came on screen, I was looking at the screen and Moses was looking at me. And I'm like, he's like, right? I'm like, oh my God. I like me, and I don't say that. I really don't say that a lot. But I was just, it was amazing.
A producer like Guneet can pull this off at any time of the day.
Guneet and Moses, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I keep telling them this, they are mafia. They can rule the world. Okay, I've seen them. I've sat in the middle of the two of them when we were shooting in Delhi, and they came to my room one day because we was like sipping coffee and chatting, and they got busy. Okay, I promise you, between the two of them, it was like he's like the mafia don and she's like the mafia mama, and they had just taken over the world. There's nothing they could not have done. Nothing. So they're quite amazing.
So in terms of in comparison to say Pan and Neeraj, how is Moses sort of, I from what you say and from what I see, I feel he's more confident in terms of the final product than. Tell me about his process while he's making the film versus once the film is done, the edits are.
The difference which I can point out between Neeraj and Moses would be, Neeraj is a director who wants to see his film before the film starts.
Right.
He's very particular. Maybe it's because he's coming from a marketing background and that sort of a background. He wants to have that film on paper at least before they start shooting. He's very particular about the details. Exactly. We can improvise anytime, but he wants that film on paper beforehand. Moses, I think he's more of an explorer as a director.
Right.
He explores when we go on location. He explores the character while he's directing those characters, and the script. There were quite a few changes that we made in the script while we were shooting because we felt, okay, we could try this out, we could try this out. He's more of an explorer as a director, which I found was the difference. But otherwise, the energies were same when it comes to directing your first film, which is always the same, which was great.
You saw the same with Pan and...
I can't really draw the same comparison because Pan's not a first-time film director. And neither is Moses, though. He did not for 1 second strike me as someone who's not done this before, even though he hasn't. He's very meticulous. Not to say that Pan isn't, but Moses is meticulous in a very different way. Pan is also, as a human being, much more subdued, and Moses is very vibrant. And Moses believes in preparation, but to an extent. Moses also will, like Pan, he wants things done the way he wants it done, but he will take your input.
Right.
And he will give you the time to sit down and discuss the scene with you. But at the end of the day, be like, yes, but do it the way I told you. But the thing is that you trust. And for a first-time director to instill that kind of trust is very commendable. I trusted Pan because he's done many films before, he's got international acclaim. But Moses hasn't, he's been producer, line producer, whatever. I just trusted him blindly because he was so clear and so overtly passionate about what he was going to create. And this is not even, I don't even think of him so much as a director, just as much as I adore him as a human being. Yeah. He is one of the most well-read, knowledgeable, humble human beings I promise you I've ever met.
He is so passionate about actually anything and everything he does.
He has to be on top of everything firstly.
He puts his heart into everything.
I mean, and he has 18-hour days every day. and he wakes up the next day, and I keep telling you, I'm like, dude, it looks like you slept for like 8 hours. Because that's what happens when you're really passionate about what you do, and he believes, he's a big believer.
Right.
You know, he's a believer in the universe and in spirituality and in human beings and the goodness of other people. I promise you, Rahul, our set was like a family. You know, we stayed in a guest house in Gurgaon. All our doors were open. It was like a big dome. Yeah. And the thing is, because your director is your captain of the ship, if he is not embodying that energy, it's not going to flow. You know, it's not going to feel like that. Because I've done other films where it doesn't feel like that.
I remember we had a few days where we were shooting for like 22 hours. There was one particular day when I came back to my hotel on the 26th hour. So we were actually shooting for more than 22 hours. And I remember the only driving force for the entire unit was to see Moses on set.
Yeah.
Because the way he was on the 24th hour of the shoot was as if it was the second hour of the shoot.
And you know, it's not as though things don't go wrong. Yeah. Things did go wrong. They go wrong on all sets. You know, or camera something, or light something, or where, you know, sound something. But he just did. I didn't hear him raise his voice once. Yeah. And like I said, for a first-time director, it's really commendable.
So Delhi and Punjab में तो बोलते हैं हीरो एक और बैठा हुआ है वहाँ पे डायरेक्टर की सीट पे.
हाँ वो तो उनको हीरो ही बोलते थे यार. मोसेस, मैं कई बार होता था कि मोसेस से सारे तस्वीरें खिंचवाते थे.
In Cannes, he got photographed, I think possibly more than the two of us.
And he loves being photographed.
Not really.
No, actually.
No. He doesn't really like being put on the spot at all. Because he'll always, like, even during the trailer launch, he went blah 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 blah. Thank you, this one, thank you. Then he sat next to me and he very sweetly said, "Was I okay?" I was like, "You were fabulous." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Dude."
Confident person.
Because that's what I said. He's a encyclopedia of knowledge. Okay, about not just film, not just fashion, everything. Everything. It's really, I mean, wow, honestly.
And your producer?
Vineet Mumbai and Shan Vyas.
They are just pillars.
Superb. I think if you're sitting here and there's a Zuban poster behind us, it's because of them today. You know, because the way they've supported Moses throughout this journey, because he's been trying to develop this thought that he had in mind into a script to a film and everything. Guneet has been that one figure who stood by him throughout this journey, you know. At a time when Guneet herself was taking baby steps in this industry, you know, and they were both taking baby steps in this industry. Yeah. It's great. It's really great to see that in your director and producer.
And they have such a great relationship as well, you know. There's that camaraderie. You see it. Like I told you, I was sitting in that room that day and Moses was like, "This can't." She's like, "Wait." And he'd be like, "Moses, can I?" And, you know, they were just on the same page, helping each other. And Shan and Moses are like peas in a pod, you know. Whether they're working or they're not, they're really like, they're lovely. I want to be around them. I really, even when I'm not working, I've had sometimes like the worst days ever, and I've just gone and hung around like Moses or Shan or whatever, and instantly better day. Instantly.
As a performer, what do you take away from a film like this, like where it's about developing into a new person through your performance, and then after the film, what do you take away?
Dilsher is a character who's rediscovering himself. And I thought as an actor, I rediscovered myself, because this was the first film as a lead that I was actually performing, you know. I shot this film before I even auditioned for Masan, you know. So for me, it was a new process. I was facing the camera every day for 50 days at a stretch. It was a new thing in my life, and it just gave me that confidence that yes, you can do it. You know, it just gave me that confidence where I knew that if I went into this mental block as an actor for a scene, I kind of got to know, okay, how to, you know, overcome that. You know, how to go about a character. You know, where like if you're filming a film and obviously it doesn't go in the right chronology. You know, so I got to learn a lot as an actor. Like the tagline says, you know, find yourself, find your music. I think I found myself as an actor through this film.
Sir?
I've never been a solo lead in a film before. I've always done ensemble films. So it's never really been just about me, you know. And it is really special, that feeling. And it's a really, and again, going back to Moses, just, he made me feel so important on set. Not in a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I was there for a purpose and for a reason, not just because they needed to put a girl across the boy in the film, right? Yeah. And I believe that so much because of him. And he said, you know, you need to be the breath of fresh air in his dark world. And I literally started to feel that way. And that's a gift. That's a real gift for you to go home almost every single day from your job and say, I've done a good job. You know, and I believe in what I've done today. And I feel important on set and I'm there for a reason. That's especially for a girl. And having done the kind of films that I've done before, this was very liberating.
Amazing. So wanna wrap this up, please. Give me top 5 reasons to watch Zubaan.
To watch Zubaan?
Don't take all top 5.
No, I think Zubaan. First thing I think it would be it's got great music. First of all, then you can say your number 1 then. So
That's also my number 1.
So it's got great music.
Best. Brother, best.
Great story.
Agreed.
I think because I'm talking about the story because it's a story about a boy trying to find himself, rediscover himself, and I think we all, in our own personal lives, we are trying to find that purpose in our life, you know. So it's a daily struggle, I think, and people will connect to the story of the film really well. Then, if people have liked Sarah's work in Goddesses and my work in Vasant, they would be, I think, pleasantly surprised to see us in different avatars.
Completely different.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Can I? That's number 3. Can I pick number 4? It's
Yes.
very girly.
Of course.
There's super fashion in the film. There's like super duper fashion in the film. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Okay. Aki's outdone himself. All right, like literally outdone himself. So yes, I have to say this. Okay. Yes, you can pick 5.
Yes, and I think fifth reason would be
Uplifting film.
it's an uplifting film for sure. It's an uplifting film. I think when the audience will step out of the theater after watching the film,
Yeah.
they'll be
Feel like
inspired to do something that they've been wanting to do since a long time, but they couldn't just find that courage to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good feeling to leave the audience with.
Yeah.
They have special mentions above and beyond the top 5.
Cinematography.
Mind blasting.
Cinematography is something to watch out for.
Swapnil is
in the film
just
outstanding.
Amazing. Amazing.
Anything else?
I'm like echoing everything he's saying. No, all. Raghav, Manish, I know I'm missing out lots more people. Meghna ji, they're just, the performances are just through the roof.
And I
Raghav is actually a particular favorite of mine because he's not, I mean, you want to make him the bad guy, you really do, you want to hate him, but there's something so relatable and so human about him, and that is so difficult to do in a negative character. But I won't even call it a negative character, it's just a human being. You know, he plays true human being emotions, and it's just done really
The
well.
honesty we're talking about Moses, you'll definitely see that in the film.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the audience always looks out for, the honesty in that story that they're watching.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time, and I really hope on the 4th of March you rock the nation and everybody finds the music. So do you, and so do your producers.
Yes.
And you'll find our music soon.
Yes.
Online.
I'm looking forward to it. I had a really good chance to preview the music and the videos, and I think you guys are going to love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.